Hello, Minister Fu. Thank you for talking to us. As you know, Chinese President Xi Jinping proposed this 30-60 plan, which is to peak carbon emission by 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. And he also said that ecological conservation is of vital importance to the sustainable development of the Chinese nation. How do you evaluate China's performance on climate and environmental issues over these past several years?
I have noticed the revised nationally determined contributions to climate change made by China. As you say, there is the 双碳, 碳中和 and 碳达峰, which is peaking in 2030 and also net zero neutrality in 2060. I've also read several of your policies in detail, including deployment of renewable energy, including responsible consumption and production. The plans are very detailed and very comprehensive, and it's really a good model for many policymakers. At the same time, you are deploying, renewable energy as well as solar panels at a capacity that I think no other countries in the world can match. It's really not for Singapore to comment on your performance or any other country's performance for that matter. But I think there are many commonalities between Singapore and China. First of all, I think we are very aware of the impact on climate change. You have also placed a lot of emphasis on ecological and environment protection, just like Singapore. As you say, Xi Jinping has described, like your mountain and rivers are as precious as gold and silver. At the same time, we have always said that, we want to be a garden city in the beginning, and then now we are a city in the nature. So both countries know the importance of keeping the greenery, the ecological environment, and protecting them, conserving them as important policy objectives. We have also seen how our actions can have an impact in the decarbonization and economic growth. So you have a very good set of policies on energy transition. We too have a set of energy transition. We know that each country got to find its own solutions, and so we respect this very basic principle in Paris Agreement, which is really common but differentiated responsibility. We respect that, and both of us are aligned. However, we can find areas where we can work together, and we have a government-to-government partnership in Tianjin Eco-City that is now into its 15 years. It is really a project that I have personally been very much involved in. I was involved in the early stage of deciding where that eco-city would be located. That was when I was a younger minister 15 years ago, having a discussion with the Chinese government about whether we should have it in Tianjin or not. So I've seen it evolved over the years. We have always wanted a place where it's demonstrative value in addressing some of the environmental challenges that China is facing. We hope that with this project really being a test bed of innovative ideas, it will continue to have its relevance because climate change requires us to look for innovation in technology, in policies, and we hope that through Tianjin Eco-City there will be many projects where Singapore and China can find common projects to work together.
China proposes Global Development Initiative, and also in the Belt and Road Initiative, there has been an environmental climate aspect to it. I mean, it started out with basically a pure infrastructure project, but it grew over the years. So do you see this kind of, like the BRI, like the GDI philosophy, as some of the possibilities that we can explore for greater international collaboration?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think China has a lot to offer. I think the GDI, although there are about 7 or 8 items, you have public health, such as vaccine and management of COVID, for example. You also have areas on climate and green transition, and you have the area on digital connection and digitalization. These are all areas where China government and the Chinese industries have lots of capabilities and resources. And the rest of the world, many countries require that. I think we want to see a world where sustainable development are aligned with climate action. So they are not one on another, they are not moving in opposite direction. They can be actually converging. What's good for people must be good for environment ultimately. And what's good for resource resilience, for example, reducing waste, having better digital information so that we can reduce wastage, so that we can make better use of our assets, so that we can manage such an early warning system on flood prevention to save lives. These are all areas where technology can be applied for the benefit of people. And China have both the experience, technology, capability and resources to make that happen. What I would like to see really is for us to align sustainable development with the equal emphasis on environment protection and on climate change, climate action.